like a ball.
So after you have sex with a guy, okay, in order to make him chase, all you have to make sure to do is look, ladies. Let's first talk about why some men don't return after sex. And then after that, we're gonna talk about the signs he might not chase you after sex. And then after that, we're gonna talk about what to do after you have sex with a guy to keep him interested. The first thing is first is that the first reason why guys don't return after sex is that they just didn't like you physically. Okay, they just didn't like the way you looked physically. Maybe you met them online and stuff like that. But that's the most obvious sign, because even if you're a psycho, even if you're racist, a guy will come back to tap that ass just because he finds you attractive. I remember I went out with a girl who was racist towards Asians. She was crazy in the bedroom, right? And one day we went to Chinatown, and then she was like, "Oh, Asians," you know. And I was like, "What the fuck did she just say?" She was like, "I fucking hate Asians," right? And I'm like, "Yo, I'm leaving this bitch." And then my dick was like, "Hey, I didn't hear shit." Like, guys don't care when it comes to sex. A guy, in order for the guy to at least see you next time, he has to find you attractive. Guys don't just push away a girl because she's crazy, all right? So that's the first thing. If a guy doesn't come back, it just means for the most part, you just weren't his type, okay? The second thing is that there's another woman, an ex of his, somebody who he was in a relationship with, or maybe he's not over his ex and stuff like that. Most likely he didn't come back chasing because of an ex. Maybe he was on the break with them. The third thing is that you don't look like your photos, right? Or you weren't looking your best, right? Why? Because men need to see. When I'm on a date and a woman is dressing conservatively, I don't mind that. Don't get me wrong, okay? I really don't mind that. But it's kind of like, bitch, I gotta see how you look. Are you fat? Are you fucking overweight? Are you in shape? I mean, I gotta see that. And if I don't see it in a woman, like, I'll find ways. I'm like, I'll tease her, I'll poke her. No, poking. I'm like, get out of here. Just go like that. Sorry. Yeah, you didn't look like your photos, or you're not looking your best, right? So it's kind of like when you're on a date with a guy and you go out with a guy, just make sure you look your best. If you find the most attractive body part of yours, highlight it and make everything else look conservative. An example could be if you have big boobs, make everything look conservative, but hint that you got some tickle bitties, okay? If you have nice legs, make sure that everything is conservative, except make sure to show some part of your leg that accentuates that you have nice legs, right? Don't be obvious, all right? Don't be walking around with your titties out, as an example, but make sure you just highlight, subtly hint that you have something to offer. That's just because guys are visual creatures. I'm sorry, like I didn't make them. I'm only explaining them. The next sign is that the reason why he doesn't see you after sex is that he just didn't have any chemistry with you. He found you attractive, everything was good, but that he just doesn't find that chemistry. And the last one is just bad sex. All right, you guys, there was no sexual chemistry between the two of you, okay? So now let's talk about what are the signs that he might not chase you after sex, okay? Let's talk about these signs because it's very important. But before that, just to let you guys know, I have a few courses for sale. Natural Chemistry is a course that I created for women who are in relationships and who want to strengthen the bond with the man that they're seeing in their life. This is like a 6-week course that will show you how to set boundaries, how to express your love to the guy, how to make the guy love you even more. All of these courses have a 30-day money-back guarantee. And the next course is called The Psychological Game of Attraction. That's a course for women who are single. I will teach you the strategies to going from friends and not knowing each other to him wanting a relationship with you. This is pretty much the playbook to get to for women who are single. You can purchase it on the description down below. The links are there. So the next one is that signs that he might not see you after sex is him not having a dad in his life and being raised in an environment where his mom or dad didn't have a committed relationship. Those types of people will have a tough time committing because they never got an example of what it is to have a committed relationship, all right? So if he tells you he never had a dad in his life, it doesn't mean he's going to do that to you, but it increases the likelihood because those people who didn't have a stable family, they don't know the concept of commitment for the most part because they never got that example. Other signs that he might not chase you after the sex is that he's still not over his ex, um, or he's taking a break with from his ex, right? So you can find out. Notice if he talks about his ex. Notice if he complains about his ex. Notice if he tells you that his ex cheated on him. Most likely, those are traumas that haven't healed, right? And those types of traumas it'll have such control over him that if his ex comes back and says, "I want to be with you," he'll leave you for her, right? Um, Other signs that he might not chase after sex is that he's drinking a lot. When a guy drinks a lot on a date, most likely he's alcoholic, or he doesn't find you that attractive and he's trying to hype himself up into banging you. All right. Also, notice the country that he's from, or notice the country that you're in. If you live in a culture in a country that has socialist welfare program, studies show that it increases the likelihood that men and women will have casual sex and have less committed relationships. Socialist welfare programs or communistic countries will increase the likelihood that people will have more casual sex and not call back after sex. Research it. Why? Because women feel more secure in a socialist welfare program because women don't need men that much. They're provided for. And because they don't need men that much, they don't give a fuck about what men think about them. And because they don't care what men think about them, they'll have casual sex a lot more often. And if they're having casual sex, men will then change their mating strategies towards being more towards casual sex. Men will literally reflect what women want. And another thing is that if you live in a culture where there's more women than men, it'll increase the likelihood of there being more casual sex. There's countless of studies that show that. Perfect example is Sweden. Another thing is that most likely he might not call you back if you're older than him. All right. Why? Because younger men usually focus more on sex, and also younger men will never. Most likely, younger men are not wired to have an emotional connection with older women in terms of relationship. All right. So make sure he's either of your age or older. Younger men will only chase after sex. But if you guys are having casual sex though, men's range is larger, right, for casual sex. But for a relationship, the age range for men is a lot shorter, and men prefer women either their age or younger. All right. So if you just by simply dating guys your age or older, and make sure that you don't meet them online, it'll increase the likelihood that he might actually come back after sex. Why? Because studies show that when you meet people online, most likely you're never going to see them again after the first date. There's just too many options. No. So now, what do you do after you have sex with the guy? The two things you have to do. One, make sure, just out of all the things I tell you, this is the most important one. After you have sex with a guy, to make him chase, just make sure that, one, you protect yourself by not fantasizing about him, by not imagining how this is the relationship that you finally found, that you cannot wait to go on a trip with him in the mountains of Himalayas. Because when you fantasize about the guy, when you start, because you have great chemistry, let's just say the date went well and you guys had great chemistry, and so you decided to have sex with him. Just because by you fantasizing about him, you pretty much fall in love with him, fantasizing, saying how this will happen, saying how that will happen. When you're on a date with a guy, the more you like him, I want you to then counteract that force by being practically negative. What do I mean by being practically negative? I mean that you intentionally assume in your mind that things are not going to work out, and you literally don't even entertain the thought of him being in a relationship with him, even after sex. Because what that does is that it allows you to be more detached. It allows you to deal with the fact that he might not call you back after sex. Why? Because the people who you hook up with, a lot of times, it's not going to work out. That's life. You have to fail before you succeed. Most likely, the people who you have sex with will never love you for you. I will say 90% of people won't love you for you at being conservatively. So you have to prepare yourself for the inevitable disappointment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys ever want to learn how to use your feminine energy to influence people, learn how to use your masculine energy to become more assertive, and also learn how to blend both energies to improve your dating life, your spiritual life, honestly, your relationship life, your family life, your career life, this is the course for you. If I had to make a course for my nieces, I have two nieces, one is 19 and one is 15.
16. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's a bad fucking uncle. He's a bad uncle. Get him. Shut up, Melissa. You should get this course, right? And this is the course that I will make for them. So, for example, watch the curriculum, right? In the first week, we're going to be showing you how to establish a strong masculine foundation without letting it hurt your feminine energy. This masculine foundation is a source of who you are, right? It's your bodyguard. Without this, whatever feminine energy you create will be destroyed by the outside, because your masculine is your shield. So we'll talk about goal setting. We'll talk about how to develop a serious attitude. We're gonna be talking about how to use more logic, how to use more goal-oriented behavior. It's more how to be a man, Now the next one is how to embrace the feminine energy, right? This one would teach you about how to minimize excessive masculine traits, developing self-awareness, healing abundant feminine energy, regulating your emotion, mastering voice qualities and facial expressions, surrendering control, and allowing pain to be felt. This is honestly, this will supercharge, like Kaioken, your masculine energy. After that, we have femininity in the workplace, and how to be feminine in the workplace without letting people take advantage of you, and the nuances of how women of power should behave versus women who are subordinates in the workplace, and even the dress code. This is based on psychology, people. It's kind of insane. I'm actually excited about this one. The next week, we talk about navigating the labyrinth of male and female friendship, and this a lot of women find confusing, so we talk about that. And how to identify envious friends, how to identify the good friends, how to keep male friends, and how to keep female friends. Week 5, we talk about how to release the burden of the past and stop and destroy mental projections. This is actually really powerful. And then week 6, we talk about how to increase your observational power so that you can read people better. And we have a bunch of bonuses. The course starts at $99, and you guys can pre-order the course today at $69 before it goes out. If you're watching this, most likely I'm in the meditation retreat, so most likely I will be praying for all of you guys. And just click on the description down below of the video. Right there, you'll see it, and you can pre-order that course. It's gonna be out by the end of next month or the beginning of February of March. One of the two, people, because I have a 10-day retreat to do, and I want to finish the course after the retreat, because I think the ideas are gonna be so much better. All right, man. I'll see you guys later. Pre-order, man. I'm closing the channel.